Hello Nitro fans, Racing 393. This is going to be part 3 of my Turbo Burns Ultimate rebuild. It hasn't quite, a little bit of a spoiler alert, it hasn't quite worked out as Ultimate. It is, I'll give you a little story. So, I don't know if anyone else refurbishes anything. I'm sure they do. I've seen loads on the internet. I haven't really watched that many videos. Don't know. But I quite enjoy refurbishing old tat. No, what other people disregard. Now, old Nitro cars, generally speaking, tend to be left. It's one of those hobbies which people get into and they delve around in it for a while and then they leave it. They grow up, they start working, family, whatever, and they once were into an RC hobby quite heavily and then they leave it. And this could be electric or nitro, it doesn't really matter. But what you find with the nitro cars is that because they're oily and generally, especially these type of cars, and well, I suppose it could apply to anything, but they're used, abused, rain, sun, shine, whatever, and they get left. They might get reused, and then they get left, they get boxed. People move out, move in, move along, and eventually come across this car, and they think, oh, I remember that. I think, where's all that? I don't know. I'm too busy with other things, or I can't bother with that anymore, and I'll sell it. Facebook, eBay, whichever. And then people like me come along and think, oh, I like that. In this case, the Turbo Burns, that era, so it's sort of late 80s, maybe early 90s, and there it is in all its glory, left to burn, as to speak. And then you usually then find you can normally tell by the pictures if it's just old and left or old and abused. And I tend to look for just the left ones. So you can see when it's all there according to the picture, because that's all you go by. And everything's as I expect it. It's not all chewed up and hammered together. There are usually a few Heath Robinson type repairs, but we go with that. And then I come along and strip the thing down back to the bare bones, each nut and bolt. Now, it's not really, I don't know, I wouldn't really class it as a nut and bolt restoration. It's not concourse. I don't have the machinery, to a certain degree, the know-how, space to do a full-out concourse restoration. I try to keep things relatively same as it was, but it's hard work. So this is the third video. So the 3 videos, hopefully, that you would have watched. I will put a link of the other 2 videos in the description. It's hard work. Like I said, I think I said in the previous video, to get to a certain stage can take up to 2 days. I mean, it's not 2 full days, admittedly, but it's like 2 of my spare time days. For example, it could be a weekend. It could be it could be 4 hours on a Saturday, 5 hours, and then 5 hours on a Sunday. It's a lot of time. I usually do this with my other half. She goes out or does other bits and pieces, and I find that time, if I'm not busy doing something else, to go into the shed and carry on refurbishing. You can see there by the picture that there's a before and after. I think I might have mentioned in the video that I don't intend to strip it down. I'm not sure why I said that. I think it's because I thought that the engine was quite, it's in fairly good condition. But then I thought, I'll tell you what, I need to do this properly. So, providing it's got compression, which it did have, spoiler alert, you can go as far with the cleaning as you want. Now, I know it's nitro, and they tend to go, like all engines, need some sort of grime or grease round, but externally, I like to have engines that are really clean, and no leaks. I've always hated leaks, even in my race days. Leaking oil and fluid, and it used to bug the crap out of me. So I used to always make sure that everything was sealed, clean, and the fluid stayed where it was, and the outside of the engine was clean, so you can work on it. Full-size engine. On occasions, if you ever crashed or overturned, because everything all leaks out, doesn't it? Fortunately, I never rolled or crashed my stock car. I never turned it over. Nearly. The car I did on numerous occasions, but fuel, they don't really carry much else, do they? So brake fluid sometimes comes out, which is a bit of a pain. But what I'm trying to say, scanning it all the way back down to, let's get back onto subject of these Nitro RC cars. You can see the before and after. I've just taken the head off and I've cleaned it all out. And the crank spins lovely and free, which you will see in the video. But it's nice and easy to work on, because you get really mucky stripping these down, because everything's small and it's fingertips and tight, rusty, or stripped. You know, it just takes time to get it down to this kind of bare bones, and that's what I like doing. I don't know whether other people like watching this. I hope they do, because I don't know, it's just interesting getting things back to almost new. I can't stand the slapdash that'll do. It just, it must be just that part of me that, you know, I've got a little bit of OCD, but you know, when I don't know, put that on there with a freaking great big clip and do it up with a bloody great big spanner, and that'll do, and you get nothing but problems down the line if it's not done properly. If you can't do it, then you buy the bit to do it, or it's probably more expensive, but if you really need something, you can get people that will make a certain part, a certain shape or spacer, whatever it may be. So that's why I'm tend to sort of point my channel towards restoring old, I'll say, RC cars. Most of them have been nitros. I seem to have got onto the Kyosho Turbo Burns slash MP5, MP6 kind of era, and there's not a lot of difference. They're actually very easy. I'm looking up there because I've got a few there. They're very easy to work on. They're built for purpose, because back in the day there were race buggies, and there were race buggies which I couldn't afford at the time, as I've said before, and I was really fascinated by this 1/8 buggy nitro, pictures of in magazines back in the day. It just looked complicated, and would I ever be able to own one of them? And I've got, like I said, 7, 8 or 9, I can't remember now. I think it's 9 of these buggies in various sort of states. Most of them have rebuilt and put back to what I class as good as new as what I've got. I've got a crap ton of spares for these. But there's always that little bit you are missing. When you buy a kit, it's always missing that one little bit. You think, oh, I haven't got that on that one. I've got it on there, and that one hasn't got that one, but that one has. And you end up buying all these kits to get all the spares. And they are very much the same, but you can normally tell, well, I can anyway, looking at the pictures that you're buying from the seller, or whatever it may be, of whether it's worth buying or not. They don't actually fetch that much money. There's on YouTube, well, I suppose it could be on eBay even. There's quite a lot of what seems restored Kyosho Turbo Burns without an engine, and they're relatively cheap. I just feel, I don't know, maybe they're just not as sought after as I think they are. I mean, there are plenty of Kyosho Facebook groups which specialise in these, like there is in anything. But anyway, that's just a little bit of why I do what I do. In the video, you can see that we get the engine cleaned, which did take quite a bit of time getting that grime off. Somehow, you'll see I did struggle getting the head bolts off of one of the other engines, but somehow I managed to get them off. They had sort of stripped. It really was peculiar, and they were really freaking tight. I mean, come on, we're only talking like an M2 bolt. Jeez, they don't need to be that tight. What is wrong with people? And if that's factory set, I mean, I don't even know what the factory setting is. I mean, if I had a little torque wrench, I would go that far and set them. There's people that will know that, but that's something that's beyond my pay grade, if you like. But yeah, so we get the engine into the chassis. The engine is stripped. We'll get most of the things into the chassis. At the end of the video, it will be ready to see, you know, the engine for startup. There won't be a startup in this video, but there will be in part 4. And yeah, we'll get it sort of up together to a point where it will be ready to run. Now, there are a couple of bits I am aware of that I might not have, but hopefully, I will cover that during the video. Anyway, I've been rabbiting on now for nearly 13.5 minutes. That's enough. Let's get on to part 3 of my ultimate Kyosho Nitro Turbo Burns / Burns, it's probably a mix and match, rebuild. Enjoy. Okay, so what part is this now? Part 3. So let's do a little bit of an update. It's pretty much a rolling chassis now. Got to move that out of there. With these rather nice pink wheels on, which you probably would have seen. Now I have swapped them over, so they are now rotational correct. It's kind of all back together now regarding the chassis. The only thing I'm going to have to try and change is the spacers here, which are sort of in between that. This bit's a little bit twisted. Now, a couple of things. I'm going to try and arrange the aluminium parts here, which is this shock tower front and rear, and the hinge pins front and rear. I'm going to get those done in carbon fibre, which I've sent them off already from another Turbo Burns, because they're exactly the same. So they're going to be replaced, which it's not too much of a big job because it's all been rebuilt, but it just can be a little bit long-winded. But anyway, that's for another day. Got the bits here. So the wing mount, which goes on there, so that's done. I've got the engine mounts, which are here, a couple of servo mounts to put on, and the original header, which goes onto the back of the block. Now, talking of which, this is what came with it. So this is an OS Max 21 RF, so not bad. However, it's got a broken exhaust port on it, and it was all sort of mangled up. I've thrown it away now because it's absolutely shagged. Now the dilemma that I'm in at the minute, I'm not going to get it right now, but over there in a box I've got a brand new OS Max, one of these.
with quite a low compression. As I think I mentioned, I did a video of trying to repinch that, and you know, someone said use it as it is, try it out, but you know, fair comment. Which is what I'll probably do. However, most of the 1/8 vintage buggies that I have has that block, an OS Max RF, which leads me on to, well, you can't, it's just behind me, sort of there. See it? See my bloody hand. OS Max RF21. I think the compression's okay. What I plan to do is maybe use, if it's on another one of these that I'm going to also rebuild, I'll be the Kyosho Turbo Burns King, won't I? That's all I've got. The plan would be to build that up, maybe put that head on it. Might want a bit of a paint on it, but nevertheless it's actually okay. Maybe borrow some bits off this, I don't know, because we've got another one there, we've got loads of bits. So take this apart, take the other one apart, and just build one out of the two. That one's fine. That one can be like a rolling chassis, and I can just swap engines, or like I say, I've got a brand new OS Max sat over there, which that might encourage me to build that up and put it into that other chassis. But I think what I'll do in the meantime is move this to one side, and I need to. It's a bit messy, isn't it? I need to dig the other engine out off this chassis, which is where all these other bits come from. So they're going to be all carbon fibre and put back on. It is come together rather nicely, and these don't have to go on just yet. In fact, they can wait because they're not super urgent. Right, so I think what I'll do is it's a bit messy. I'm going to take the other engine off, and I'll be back, and I'll have it here on my sort of table. Came off pretty easy. And this is an OS Max 21 RF, which in all intents and purposes should be the same as this one. Looking at it, I can't really see any difference. There is one thing I can see, and it's got a different exhaust header mount. So yeah, I don't know whether all this could be interchangeable. I'm not that up on these, other than the fact that I've got loads of them, but it is really mucky to do it. So I'm going to take the rear, we call it a manifold, as I said before. In the UK it's a manifold, but you call it exhaust header. I don't know, exhaust header, I think more. I suppose it is, yeah, I mean, it does make sense. But it's a manifold. Exhaust manifold. Right, so different length exhaust bolts. Now, I don't really want to get covered in muck. Now, I'm going to take this off. It's probably been on there like 50 years. It did come off nicely. I think it's the same, and actually it is the same. What am I talking about? Which is good. So I've got an option of running this type of manifold, like that, or the one I just showed you, which is somewhere, which I can't get. Where is, where did I put that? Oh, it's down here. Which is that one. Difference is that one takes the side exhaust, and that one takes the exhaust that comes with the original. It's got like a little elbow rubber bit. at least this bit's not, it's not broken. So with a bit of luck, it's got a fairly good compression, so the chart, I probably won't need to strip this down completely, but it does need a good clean. Why are you using tweezers? Well, I'm trying to do this with least amount of getting mucky, because I've only got a few rubber gloves left, and I'll clean everything up on here. So right, what's next? Do you think the carb will come off? That one did have a carb. No, this one here. But the carb's in the sort of the box of bits at the moment, so I think, let's see if this all comes out. It depends how many 30 years or so this has been in there, but it doesn't look like it's been tampered with, which can be good and bad. I can see it's got a rubber O-ring on it. So does it move? Oh, it does move. Someone's probably pissed around with it. So OS carb, original OS carb, that'll get stripped and cleaned. And I can see that the crankshaft in there, which looks in really good condition. I mean, to be honest, this can be just cleaned up and just thrown straight on, but I want to run that head. And I also think, I don't know, how many teeth has that one got? Is it different? It's probably got a better clutch, but that could wait for another day. I often wonder how people break things like that. I mean, how does that even happen? You're probably using a bloody great big crowbar or something ridiculous. I mean, you don't need to be that manhandle with these things. I mean, the piston looks to be in good condition, so I think, what's I going to do? Take the head off, take the spark plug out. Do you think the spark plug works? We'll find out, shall we? It's one of my, I don't know, things. Even if it does work, what does that mean? I don't know what it is. It has got the washer there, so hence the tweezers. There's the washer. Let me just go and get the glow starter. So I've got one of these ones. It's funny, who was it? Someone on the RC channels. I think it was Joey Nitro. He was just talking. I think he had a car and he bought some bits, or got it given to him, or whatever, I can't remember. But he was going through the bits and pieces, and he said, "Oh, I've got one of these glow starters, and all that's in it is a battery. It's not like a rechargeable NiCad. It's just one of them. What do they call these? Who knows? Who cares even? That." And I thought to myself, I've never seen one of them before. And lo and behold, I bought some bits and this was in the packet. Although I have to say, I'm not sure if it's a very good... I don't think it's as powerful as like the rechargeable ones, but let's see. This is live video. Let's see if it's either that or the... It does actually glow. It's just that I can't push it in enough. Let's try it at the camera. It's got to go further in. Look. So it is glowing. Not very bright, so I don't know if it's... This doesn't work very well. Actually, if I put that... Actually, I won't put it there because I'll forget. Right, let me get another one that I know is charged. I say charged, but like charged yonks ago. So this is a traditional. It's definitely brighter. So whether I use that one or not, I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to be quite as effective, but the proof is in the pudding, so yes, that does work. Strip the head bolts off, which should have 6, shouldn't it? So let's try. Yeah, that comes undone. There's 6 altogether. So I undo them in a crossways as well. I'll do that one there. Making sure it goes in. The last thing you want is to strip these bloody things out. All the fins are in the right place on here as well. So, oh, that one's tighter. You can hear that click. That one. Is that one? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, that one's a bit tighter than the others. And that one. Oh, that one's already undone. Must be that one there then. Oh, that one's loose as well. So I think I've undone them all. I don't think I did 6 though. Yeah. So I've undone them all. Right, let's get these out. Right, they're all undone. Let's see, it should just come off. It takes the whole lot off with it, which is what I didn't want. And the piston's there, which I wasn't going to take out, but I might have to. Right, okay, let's put that there for a minute. I wonder if it's got shims on there, I can see. Right, I need to try and get... It should just come away from there. Let's find out. I'm surprised that came out that easy, to be honest. There we go. So it looks to be reasonably... I mean, it's got like... There is score marks on there. It's like an ABC liner, don't know. But it's got some score marks in it. Now, that's that. Now I could take this one off. It's also got a plug in it. You may as well do that as well. Oof. It's got a washer on it as well. Right, shall we see if this one works? Live video of this one. Let's see if this works. Yeah, look. So both plugs work, which is a bonus. I just wonder if this liner is any different. So let's take that one off now. Almost rounded that one off. Jeez. Tight. Oh, that one's not coming out. I'm never going to get that out though. And I think that one has rounded off. Problem is, if I can't undo them, I'm not going to be able to get that off, which means this engine's toast. I have to drill them out, which I could do that. I need some proper drill bits though to drill it out. I'll take out what I can. I don't know, there's 2 that are stripped, but I've only got 3 out. That's 5. I've got a feeling there's one that's missing or snapped off. Unbelievably good news. I've got it off. I don't know, they were just slipping. I had to push really hard. What about the old cable tie trick? Of getting that out. Then I can compare the 2. I mean, it does seem to have a little bit of resistance there, but I'm going to see if it's the same. And then what I'm going to do, I don't know. So it seems to have, yeah, well, anyway, it's not surmise. Right, let me just see if I can get this out in a minute. I've got a cable tie here. I want to cut off it. Let's see if this works. So you put it down at BDC, put the cable tie in, like so, and then pinch that with that, and it should, yeah, it has come out, which was surprising. There we go. So that one's, I've got to keep them together, that's there. I think for some reason it is on there, but I think it's been snapped off somehow. Anyway, good. Got to keep these in like the correct order. So that's the blue head. I'm not sure what, I don't want to get these mixed up. They look the same to me. I suppose it depends which one's got more pinch. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Back plate's off, pistons out. The piston sleeve that it came out of the blue head is quite, it's not mega, you can't push it all the way through. That's that one. I use the other sleeve. This came out of the silver head, same orientation, fits fine. I don't know, ever so slightly tighter, even though it looks more worn. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So I think the other thing to do now is take this back plate off. No, I've done that one. What am I doing? This one. I'm just making sure I don't get things mixed up. But if they fit, it doesn't really matters. There. Taken this one out. So this one came out of the broken one. So this was the piston, this was this liner that it came out of. About the same. Let's put out this one. Not quite as tight. Let's try this one again. Definitely tighter. What am I doing again? So, I don't know. Although this one, it's got a little nick on the rod. Don't know. Should we measure it? Should we measure the piston? They must be the same, because I think they're pretty standard. So this is the blue head. Let's see what we're faced with. .7. Too many things going on here at once. 16.7. So they're the same. I don't know what am I trying to achieve here. I think what I might do, got to use this block. I can strip this down because I don't. The block's fuggered. So this may as well come apart. So I'm going to do that first. Get the bits off. Throw the block away. At least it's all universal. Okay. Engine all clean. This is an example of the original, which is the one that was all mucky that you saw before, and it's lovely and smooth. Got some 3-in-1 oil in there. That's ready to go back on. We'll go as far as even the back plate. It's all nice and clean with my autofocus Chinese crappy camera. Come on. There you go. That, I think you can see that. The header, which I'm probably going to go with this one rather than that one. We've got this one, as I said. I'm tempted to use the original exhaust actually, so I've cleaned that up nicely. Doesn't want to focus, does it? But I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. Sometimes it focuses, another time it doesn't. There you go. So got to keep still or whatever. That one. Got the headers. What do you call this? Cooling head. I am going to spray the top. I don't know, whatever colour goes with it for now. I've sort of flattened them out a little bit and rubbed them down. So I'll do that. I cleaned the crank. I mean, the crank is really clean in it. Can you see that though? You can't see it. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see that. And sort of where the header would go on is all clean in there. I haven't done anything with the sleeve yet, and I also haven't done anything with the piston and rod, but I just need to wipe down a few marks on that rod. It doesn't matter. We'll use this, what in my opinion a better clutch bell. It's got some vents on it. I don't know, I'm not sure what clutch shoes to use that. Maybe these ones. These, we'll clean them up a little bit and put those in. So it's got the spring round it anyway, so that won't need dismantling. Yeah, so the flywheel's alright, just give it a wipe down. Yeah. Not sure what I'm going to do about head bolts yet. Might be able to use the ones out of the other head, because it's no different. I don't think it's any different at all. I mean, that's the original head, I haven't cleaned it, but I'm not going to use that. And all these other bits are spares, so yeah. But to just throw that away. I hate throwing things away, but it's probably knackered in it. Kafugud. Yeah. Right. I think. Well, we've got the engine mounts, which I will just clean up. and sort of put them back on. So that'll be done soon. So I'll be, once I've got this all reassembled, well, we've got something to put in the car. Good. Right, I'll crack on. Engine all back together. Painted the top. Just sat in black for now. It's clean. Yeah, there's a compression there. It's not great, but it pops, which is good. Got some exhaust sealer on the back. On there, just to make up for a gasket, which I haven't got. The other engine stripped and down in here, all the bits. So, including the block, which I was going to throw away, but didn't. So, carburetor's here, but I've got to clean it. Engine mounts are here. One's got to be clean. I've cleaned one of them up, so that's the clean one. That's alright. And then this one I'm just going to quickly clean up now. Before, well, and after and before. Got a couple of spacers here. So I'm going to try and put those on the front plate, but even though they might soon be carbon fibre. What else? I think that's it. We can start then. I mean, it can get bolted in, which is what I'm going to do now. Just going to clean this up, bolt it in, and then I'll come and then I'll show you what it looks like. Right, it's in. There's always a but. I think, I don't know, the spur gear is really close to the pinion, the clutch bell. But if I turn it over, turns free, but it's face to face rubbing there. But it is in. So yeah, there's always a but. The other but is the rear suspension's a bit too hard. Front's fine. Incidentally, I've got the shell that came with it. So that does go on. I've got another shell coming, but I mean, it is pretty much. It's got to have the wing on, so that clearly will go in there. But I don't know. I probably won't use this shell, if I'm honest. But it looks alright. Just got a gazillion things still to sort out, as expected. But yeah, it's quite clean. Well, cleanish, I suppose. Some grubby marks on it now. Underneath, hardware's all good. It's just I'm a bit disappointed in the meshing. I might have to get some engine mounts which have sliders on, so it could be slid back a fraction, like a width of a clutch bell. There is room, it will go back. It just means I've got to change these. Pretty sure I'd even go as fast as says even I've already got them somewhere.
Okay, hold that thought. Just quickly, in between this edit and doing a bit more work on the car, I've put some different engine mounts on. They are still Kyosho, exactly like I've got on there. I did go down the route of sliding ones, but stumbled across some original Kyosho ones, and they'd been re-drilled multiple times on the top edge to allow you to move the engine back and forth. It sits ever so slightly further back, so the engine lugs just overlap slightly, and it moves the engine back half of a bell crank gear. I'm pretty sure that because this is the metal upgraded center diff spur, on the original car, the others anyway, they're plastic, but the plastic's sort of a third wider than the metal gear. So it's not, from my understanding, it wouldn't have been a quick swap anyway. Even back in the day, you'd have had to, I would have thought, you would have had to modify the engine mount where the engine sits. Of course, the plan was to go to the sliding ones, and I've got those on a lot of my 1/8 buggies, but I just so happen to have the correct mount. So at the moment, well, at the time, not at the moment, at the time now, the engine has been completed and it's adjusted and meshed correctly.
What's next? Carburetor. Need to strip that down, clean it, put it on, sort the engine mounts out, maybe clean the exhaust up. Once I've got the engine mounts done, then put the exhaust on and then the fuel tank. So there's still a lot to do. I mean, it is good. It's got good compression. So yeah, just a few teething issues, but we're slowly getting there. I think I'll have to sort these engine mounts out. Just the engine wants to go back. Can you see it's just too close? If that was a standard spur, it wouldn't go on. It's only because the metal one is thinner than the standard plastic one. I'm looking at the plastic one now. They're probably, yeah, it's probably not double, but half again. It doesn't feel like it's rubbing. That's the thing. It just sounds like it's rubbing. Let's have another listen. It's definitely rubbing. Right. What am I saying now? Oh yeah, I'll have to sort something out with these engine mounts. Just shown you that before. It's all in there now, including the block. Probably shown that already, and the broken block. Just can't bring myself to throw it away. Yes. It's just got to go back a gnat's cock. That's all. So yeah, change them again. There you go. Done-ish. More done. Still a few buts, but it's ready to fire up for the next time. Well, nothing really. It's just all complete. I've got the original fuel tank from the era, but that was one that was on my other car, and it used to not draw fuel, so I don't know. It seemed to seal when I tried it just a minute ago. Might just be blowing air through it, but yeah, fuel lines on, air filter, which I haven't put on permanently. Rear wing mount, carb, exhaust. It's the original exhaust from the day. I don't particularly like them, but I thought I'd use it because it's authentic, cleaned up nice. Yeah, but yeah, anything I don't like, I just don't like this bit. I should have left it just as it was. It was scratched, but it wouldn't have really mattered. So I'm a little bit I don't know. I'm going to leave it for now. I suppose another head would fit anyway, so I could maybe clean up the original cooling head and put it on. Or I think I've got another one of these somewhere. In fact, I've got two of these. Even a new one of these would look better than that, I think. So but it won't matter for the moment. Yeah, I mean, strip the carb's all clean. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a case of a bit of fuel and firing it up, and then it'll be a case of putting all the servos in. Well, I'll have to get servos, linkages is what I've got, receiver, battery or power pack, and away it'll go. It does sound a lot better. It's always going to sound a little bit rough and ready because it's a metal spur and a metal clutch pedal. Yeah. Well, it's quite a long video when you put it all together. It's probably going to be, I don't know, a good 50 minutes, if not an hour. I'll try and show you some close-ups if I can. Let me just got to put the mic down to do that. What do you think? I don't think there's much else I need to do at the minute. There's a couple of nuts here which I can't quite do up properly, and I'll need a spanner. It's for the engine mounts. It doesn't have to have them, but you know, I thought it'd be better with them. The rear shocks, I'll just put, I think the oil I've put in just is too heavyweight oil, which I sort of knew that. I don't know what I was thinking. It feels alright when you push it down, so you can watch the back from there. So you push it down and it sort of comes up slowly. I know perhaps you shouldn't do that, but the front is perhaps the other way around, a bit too soft, but it does work better. So do the front and it's fine. They're the original shocks. The back bounces, so it just doesn't, the recoil's not as quick, so the car's sort of behind. But I don't know, maybe with the wing and downforce it won't do that. I don't know. The rear diff's got that really thick oil in it. Front diff's looser. The centre diff is fairly thick, and that red on that fin's bugging me, so should just take, maybe it look better with all the paint off it, if I'm honest. But anyway, that'll be for next time. In part 3, hopefully we'll see a bit of a fire up and see if it will. It should run. It's got good compression. It's not brilliant compression, but it's good compression. At least get it so it fires. I've got so many of these things that that you haven't seen run yet, so I think I might even have front ending roll bar coming for this. I don't think I've ever seen one with a front ending roll bar, and the carbon fibre bits and pieces, so there's still more to do, but that's it for now. That's taken quite a number of weekends, if I'm honest, and quite a few hours. The fuel tank's a temporary measure because it's not fully on there as it should be, but it's good enough for now. Hopefully it'll hold fuel, not leak. Yeah, so keep an eye out for, well, it'll be part 3, won't it? And we hopefully get it running, and we'll go from there. It's lovely and smooth now though. That pin, the clutch bell was definitely too close. Yeah, okay, and I'll catch you up for part 3. So keep that notification bell ticked to be notified when the next one is out, and I'll catch you later with my small microphone. See you later.